Welcome inside Okinawa Arena. We're in Japan and the final 16 teams are set. Opening up the second round of the FIBA Men's World Cup right here in front of us. Despina Barton alongside FIBA Hall of Famer Andrew Gaze. Georgia, the newcomers, making their first appearance here in World Cup stage, up against a red-hot Germany team who has rattled off a perfect record through group play. Andrew, what can we expect to unfold in front of us?
Well, we can expect a whole bunch of intensity because there's so much at stake, and a little more so for Georgia. They come into this next phase carrying that loss against Slovenia, so their margin for error has gone. So this is a must-win situation for them, and they've relied heavily on three main players, and one of them is Sandro Mamuke-Lashwili. He's been really good with 11 points a game, but as the tournament's rolled on, it's been their captain, Toko Shengalia, who has really stepped up with the 17 points a game, and their other NBA star, it's taken a little while to warm to it. He's got great size, and I think with, like a lot of these teams, they're taking some time to gel, but Goga Bitadze, he's the one that is going to need to have a big one tonight to help protect that rim, because they're up against a German team that's led by Dennis Schroeder, who is just, the ball's in his hands a lot, and he can get to the rim and create for others.
And for Germany, they walk in, like we said, they're one of the best shooting teams here in World Cup action, averaging 71.1% from two-point range. They've had also 2 days off to rest, Andrew. How does that come into play?
Well, that 71% is impressive, and I think that feeds off the fact that you've got Dennis Schroeder who can get to the rim, and in fact, in two-point range, they are number one in the entire tournament of the 32 teams, and a lot of that's because of what he's got and his skill to finish the play, but he's got Daniel Theis and in particular Moritz Wagner, who can finish around the rim, and they're going to be big parts of what Germany do as well. But it's like anything when you got to cut the head of the snake off in order to kill it, and in order to do that you got to take care of Dennis Schroeder. He's the one that they're going to be focusing on, I suspect.
And something to keep in mind for the fans just joining us, Germany and Coach Gordon Herbert are down to 11 players. You're not seeing Franz Wagner on the floor suiting up. He had an ankle injury against Japan, and we've not seen him return since. This is a look at the slate for today: Germany and Georgia, and then the nightcap, Slovenia and Australia. Slovenia and Germany, the only teams with perfect records up to this point. Everybody fighting and clawing. The 2024 Olympic Games in Paris.
Australia, they'll go in as the number one ranked Oceania team, so they've booked their ticket to Paris. And
so
of course,
check mark number one.
Yes, of course.
And now the national anthem for Germany. Germany, the favorite here in this contest, as the coaches meet at mid-court. Coach Herbert there shaking it up with Ilias Zoros. These two nations meeting for the third time, and the third time since 2017. It's been Germany, though, that has won each of those meetings.
It is, but they've been close affairs, and I think that if you went back and looked at those games, though, that the matchups and the personnel would be vastly different as well. A lot of these teams use a whole bunch of different players. In fact, I was going through the numbers. We take a look at the officials of the game, but if you look at a team like Japan, they use 38 different players throughout the qualification period. So similar with it, not quite as extreme as that, but similar with these two teams as well, because you've got a lot of players that are playing are just not available, particularly the NBA guys. And that'd be for Germany. They've got 3 of them on their roster as we speak.
It has to help a little bit, though, to know what the systems are for these coaching staffs and teams. And for Georgia, we're going to see for the first time in the starting lineup, Goga Bitadze, the 24-year-old center who you talked about here just moments ago. He now enters the starting lineup.
He is, and he's been dominating the boards with 9.5 rebounds per game to go along with his 11 points. And also Thaddeus McFadden, he runs the ship. He's probably the one that's going to be picking up Dennis Schroeder, so he'll have a big job. But Toko Shengalia, he has gotten better as the tournament has rolled on. 16, almost 17 points a game, the 4.5 boards and a couple assists along the way. And his running mate is going to be that man that we just spoke about. And it's the rebounds that's where he's been most effective. And look at the 2-point percentage. That's because he doesn't force anything. He takes what he's given, and with his size and athleticism, he can finish around the rim at 100% from the 2-point range.
This team is led by Ilias Zoros, of course, making their first ever appearance here in the World Cup. The strengths that they've been able to display is a lot of their inside-outside game, and they told us before this tournament even started that they're known for their fighting spirit, and they've landed here in the group of 16 for a reason.
Oh, my word. It's going to be a tough battle. Like you said, the advantages and the favoritism is going the way of Germany, but Georgia have got enough talent that if you don't behave yourself, that they can cause an upset. And you look at the starting lineup for Germany, and what a starting lineup it is. Isaac Bonga, he's so strong because he's so tall, can run the point. And the other one that I think gets overlooked a bit is Obst, the one on the end there, because he comes in and perhaps because he's the 3rd or 4th priority, they leave him alone and he can knock down the 3-ball, but it's this man on your screen right here that's been a sensation. The numbers would be bigger, but in that last game against Finland, it was a blowout, and he saw no time in the last quarter. Almost 20 points a game, 6 assists, and the stats just don't tell the complete story because he runs the team and he creates for guys like Daniel Tice, who had an interrupted season last year in the NBA with the Indiana Pacers, and he's come out reinvigorated, proud to wear the colours of Germany, and the 10 points a game. And the defense that he also applies is something that's going to be important against some of the key players for Georgia.
And the head coach for Germany, Gordon Herbert, on your screen right now, the mastermind, as this team has made quite a swift turnaround. We saw them upset Australia on game day number 2, handedly taking care of Japan and Finland. And now here to open up the second round of the Men's World Cup, they'll take on Georgia and attempt to stay perfect.
First offense. Wide, loosen, open, we run one. Try to set the screen like this. Pass, then open, normal. Second, normal. You put screen, you receive, if you have something, otherwise second creation. Second offense. We go 1, 10. Everything high, you receive, look at me.
Coach Zuros there drawing up a plan to figure out how his guys can play spoiler tonight, Andrew.
Yes, and that's right. And what you're going to see is a vastly contrasting style of play. Georgia, they want to slow it down. They're 28 of the 32 teams in points per game. They're only averaging 74 points a game, but with that slow pace, it also makes it difficult for their opponents, and they're right up there as far as points against.
Come over. Really set the screen. Okay, then we look to reject it if we can. Look to reject it. Okay, then back to Dennis, and I Andy. Remember, anytime we run 4 up, we go over, then we can't make that pass, we go right into a horns.
Coach Herbert, by the way, Germany on a 6-game win streak on the World Cup stage tonight. If they can pull off another victory, 7 in a row, their best ever showing.
Well, that's right, because 2019 they missed out on this round in an upset. Dominican Republic upset a very strong German team. They went into the classification rounds and they won both of those. But what Georgia do with that slow pace, teams are only averaging 69 points against them. That's the second best in the competition. So it can be a bit misleading. You think, oh, well, they're playing fantastic defense. And true, they do play some really good defense, Georgia. But what they do is they don't give your opponent a lot of opportunities because they're using the ball in the half court, and they're shooting the ball a lot of the time in the last 8 seconds rather than the first 8 seconds. And Germany, they want to get out and try and push the ball and run, and with their size, they can get it off the glass and get it to Dennis Schroeder and really test the D-trans of Georgia.
So Tice and Bitadze in the circle.
Okay, guys, we ready? Good luck.
And jump ball will begin in Georgia's hands. Andrew Neck-Ushwili, the point guard for this unit. Sansadze driving, jump stop. That's deflected and there's a foul. Isaac Mbonga.
It is, and right from the start, we just, maybe it's because it just came off the jump ball, but we've got Isaac Bonga, who is 203 centimeters tall, and he's going up against Andre Neck-Ushwili, who is only 193 centimeters. So there's a big size discrepancy in that last matchup between the two.
And Tudas and Anze on the free throw line. The 31-year-old hits the first. Misses a second. Bonga pokes it out. Opes driving left. Feed to Tice. Elbow. He'll get his own rebound. And a putback goes in.
And that's something that, right there, that Georgia have to take care of. They've got to clean the glass. No second shots.
McFadden back to Bitadze, top of the key. He'll stroke it and get it. Nothing but net.
He's got that in the repertoire. He doesn't go to it all that much, as we mentioned, 100% from the two-point range. But if he's that wide open, he certainly can knock it down.
Schroeder with the handles. Floater goes up. It's off. Bitadze with the board. McFadden. Bitadze now on the wing. Will let it fly off.
Germany in a drop situation, so that shot's going to be on a lot if Germany continue to do that, because they're trying to help out on the guards penetrating.
Schroeder will take the exact same shot again. 0 for 2. McFadden now brings things up. And he'll decide to call his own number a miss. Opes behind the screen from Tice. Rolls out.
Well, shaky start for Germany.
And the pass here, Andrew Neck-Ushwili trying to hit Sandaze. Wasn't paying attention.
And there he is, the big fella. And you can see Tice. Bitadze just loses focus, tracks the ball rather than putting a body on Tice. Good old fundamentals of just getting your butt into someone and boxing out. Apply at all levels.
Shengelia, the captain for this Georgian squad, driving, right hook, and a foul.
Fortman, it is. It's on the rebound. He doesn't like it.
So 2 early team fouls for Georgia and a fresh shot clock as Georgia will inbound here. Zanadze to Shengelia. He'll drive at Tice. Spinning, shoulder down, bucket in.
It's a good touch. If you're going to allow him to catch it that close to the box, it's going to be hard. He's too skilled, he's too big, very nimble, quick on his feet.
Tice gets Bitaze on the move, and he'll head to the free throw line.
See down here, he's right on the box. He goes, this is his pet move, the spin. Tice is there, but then he comes back to the middle. And that's a good contest. There's not much more Tice could have done in that under those circumstances. So it's about preventing it rather than trying to defend it when he gets there and force him off the block, make him catch it further out. As Tice misses a free throw. He's not all that comfortable from the free throw line in the tournament so far. He's 4 of 8. And Germany don't get there all that often. Only averaging 13 free throws per game, which is 29th in the competition.
And a turnover here. Andrew Nekrashvili
Stepped out of bounds. Got to know where you are. Spatial awareness. It's amazing how often that happens. You would think that with these players being on a court so often, like there was no real great pressure there or anything. He just runs out of bounds, and it happens so often, it's kind of hard to explain.
Schroeder with the ball. Kicks it to the corner. Bonga will drive. He's met with a couple red jerseys. McFadden for 3. Bonga gobbling the rebound. 1 and done there for Georgia. Voltman, extra pass, Tice banging down low with Bitaze. To the hard way. One-point game. Shengelia will lose the handle. We're going the other way with Opes, and there's a whistle. Will it count? No, they're waving the basket off. The foul ahead of the shot.
Well, there was clearly the intent there, and that to me is another one that's bordering on right on the line. Is that a legitimate attempt at the ball? And that's where the judgment of the officials come in. Usually they'll go to the line, and there you see the made basket, but I think he might have had another bounce before he let it fly.
Schroeder driving right at Andrew Nekrashvili.
Oh.
And the foul.
No, I think it's a goaltend, isn't it? Points will count.
Another look.
Here it is. Oh, and he got it. He actually got that
And
clean.
he wanted the review.
And he was the one that hit it on the board, because as soon as the ball hits the board, then it's automatic. But if you get it before it hits it, it's a block.
Obst from Bonga. Germany up in front.
Bonga's length is causing some problems. Deflections make it hard for Georgia to smoothly get into their offensive sets.
Shengelia from the top of the key. That one goes in.
That's twice they've been beaten on that play. They're helping out and just daring Georgia to shoot the 3 ball.
Oops, elbow. McFadden now pushing things forward here for Georgia. Shengelia driving at Tice, knocked out by Bonga. Oops, to Bonga. The lay-in misses.
Just took it too easy. Real casual by Bonga.
Then Odze gets it back behind the screen from Shengelia, and they get it. Georgia, back-to-back 3 balls. They've got the lead. Schroeder. You got to think that Andrew Ashwuli got a hand on that. McFadden Bentaze, no one in front of him. He's fouled from behind.
Well, Germany have been playing the odds. If you look at the stats throughout the first 3 games, Georgia have not been great from the 3-point line. In fact, they're 28th in 3-point field goals made. They're only averaging 6 made 3-point field goals per game. Already in this one, they're halfway there. They're 3 of 5. So Germany might need to reevaluate their strategy on the defensive end, the way in which Georgia have come out this first quarter. And they've dared them to shoot the 3 ball, and they have, and they've been knocking them down.
Voltman here taking a breather. In his place is Timon.
The reason they've only been making 6 is their percentages are poor. 29% from the 3-point line is Georgia. Germany, for that matter, aren't that much better.
2 for 2 for the big guy, Bitaze. He's got 5 points for Georgia. They're up by that number. Schroeder to Timon. They'll want to reevaluate. Schroeder on the baseline will pull up in front of Shengelia. Georgia coming the other way, takeaway, Timon. Schroeder spinning through traffic, and there's a foul called.
Sinzaze is the one. He's been their spark plug, their microwave off the bench, comes in, lost the handle at that time, and comes down and commits that foul. But this, by and large, when you think 3.5 minutes to go, the tempo of the game, although Georgia got a 5-point lead, they'd be happy with the tempo.
Schroeder relatively contained, only 2 points so far in this quarter. Bonga, release is good. That was Bonga's first 3 of the game. Sinzaze trying to get it in. McFadden does. Shengelia at Tice. Fade away.
That is really tough. And they did what I was talking about. He caught it a lot further from the basket. Takes one dribble, but then the step back creates the separation. Finally, Schroeder gets one to fall.
Sinzaze here, working off the screen. Bitaze, top of the key. Can't go in. Schroeder, eyes down court. Gonna change gears under the basket. Knocked away, Sinzaze with the steal. McFadden, extra pass. Too many bodies down there.
Yeah, a couple of sloppy turnovers by Germany. There was another one where Schroeder just was playing with the ball.
Okay. Come on.
He's having nothing of Daniel Tice. And Daniel Tice had a crack at one official. Now he's gone to another one. He's determined to get his point across.
So Nils Giffey on the floor now for Germany, and so is Moritz Wagner. Madolo, the 30-year-old point guard now, running things for Germany on the floor. Wagner, shoulder down. He's going to bang right at Georgia. A kick, 2 to shoot, extra pass, corner look. In time, Tiemann saving it. Low. Extra feed, Tiemann, not denied. He's going to get an and one chance.
We deserved that. Worked it in and got the offensive rebound. And then this time, just a little late there by Sandro Mamu Kailashvili. You can see the slot cut by Tiemann. Good vision to find him. The German fans, they're up and about. They love it. As I said, 16 points in the quarter, minute and a half to go. Georgia would have ticked a lot of boxes, they would feel, just with the timing. They don't want the game in the 90s. They want to try and keep the game in the 70s.
Simsadze with the ball. Gonna drive and pull it up, top of the key. Likely not the shot they were going for there in that possession. Tiemann, little pump fake, take up and lane on the right.
The defense starting to break down for Georgia. That's too easy. Combination of the O boards and the defensive lapses has been expensive.
McFadden here on the curl, in and out. Germany up by 3, 46 seconds to go here in the first. Low, faking the pass, he'll go to Giffey.
Got a mismatch down low. McFadden trying to guard Tiemann.
Wagner, he'll try his hand at a 3, and he gets a big one for Germany. The big man doing most of his work in the paint, making Georgia pay.
It is, and straight away, Georgia call the timeout. And Wagner just feet set. Unusual time to call a timeout. They had one possession remaining. Decide to burn one of their 2 in the first half, right before quarter time.
First offense, 1 down. First offense, 1 down. One open. Let's go. Oklahoma big. Till the end. Don't start early. 4-5. We go. Don't start early. 5, screen, 4. If we pass, if you have enough time, we give the ball again. We go stagger. Whoever is here, turn.
A look here at the shot clock usage from each of these teams. This is what they've been averaging throughout the tournament. Pretty neck and neck.
That's right, and both of them, there you see Georgia taking a little bit more time, and across all those averages, that it doesn't seem like much, but it can be when you're depending on the context of how things can happen. But by and large, Georgia are trying to shoot it later in the shot clock than Germany. And the biggest issue that Georgia's had throughout the tournament right now is turnovers, taking care of the ball. They're averaging 17 turnovers a game, which is the 3rd most, and they've already coughed it up 5 times already. That might be 6. Oh, it's a jump ball.
So it will go the other way.
And this is what I'm talking about with that timeout. You call that timeout, you go up against an established defense with Germany, and you get an instant turnover, so you've basically just wasted the timeout.
And Germany here going to relish in this opportunity.
There it is. I don't think he... Ooh. Did Bonga touch it? Bonga's, yeah, look at the smile on his face. I think Bonga might have just... Judging by the body language, and I'm no body language expert, but I'm thinking Bonga might have just clipped that.
Low, thought about it, going to pull it back down. The feed intended for Wagner.
This is extraordinary.
And Georgia now a chance to execute.
We'll go back to that play that coach wanted after when he drew it up after that last time out, but again, didn't need to thread the needle there. Turnover when you're trying to hold it for the last shot. So interesting 24 seconds we've just seen.
So Mamukelashvili will bring the ball up for Georgia. Plays for the San Antonio Spurs. Driving right, whistle, and he's gonna shoot 2. Actually, are they gonna call this on the floor?
I think so. Did he gather the ball? It was definitely a foul, no question about it. And I think Germany were trying to foul. So there's the foul, and then he took the extra dribble. So I think it's the right call. It's side ball.
So here now, Georgia with 2.1 to play here in the first quarter, and they'll inbound. So Senzaze, the ball in his hands. Here's the feed, knocked away by Timon, and that's the end of the quarter. So 10 minutes in the books, and it's Germany out in front by 6. It's 22-16.
Yeah, bit of a let-off for Georgia. I thought they started the first 5 minutes was right in Georgia's sweet spot, and then Germany were able to regroup, get the game back on their terms, and it come when after they'd made some substitutions. We look at the shooting percentage. It's 47% for Germany after a slow start, 38% for Georgia. Take a look at some of the highlights, and that's exactly what I was talking about early on. They decided that they're going to take the odds and let Bitadze shoot it from the perimeter along with others. Shengelia down low is a tough cover. And it took Germany a little while to get cooking. And once they got some easier baskets around the rim, things started to open up, and Georgia's defense, I thought, faltered that last 3 or 4 minutes. Didn't quite have that starch in it that it did the first 7 minutes. And Schroeder, he never really got it going in that first quarter. Ended up 2 of 6, had 4 points, and had some decent looks along the way. So Germany be content. 22 points in the first 6-point lead. They'd be happy with the way in which they were able to bounce back.
And if you haven't done so already, make sure you scan the QR code on your screen and download the Courtside 1891 app. Stream, schedule, scores, everything you and your basketball heart could desire in the palm of your hand. Second quarter, we're in Okinawa, Japan. You're watching the second round of the FIBA Men's World Cup. Despina Barton alongside FIBA Hall of Famer Andrew Gaze. McFadden in Georgia with the first possession here. And they've got a superstar of their own sitting front row center, cheering them on, and Zaza Pachulia.
Yeah. He's a man who knows what victory's all about. 2-time champion with the Golden State Warriors.
Open look, top of the key. Chardze misses, and Sharamadini with the putback.
Right place at the right time for the big man.
Sharamadini has been starting all the contests for Georgia except for today. It was a lineup change to go with Bitaze.
That's right. Well, he's been starting, but he hasn't been playing starter minutes. Only been averaging the 16 minutes. And there's the man, Jaja Julia. And he's been here for all the Georgia games, lending his support. Before the game, all the Georgian players come up and showed him some love. Great respect.
McFadden creating on his own. It's off. The save attempted there by Andrew Nekashvili. Germany ball.
McFadden now 0 for 4. A couple of them a little rushed. Working the on ball, and then he's had some space, had some decent looks. Just hasn't been able to knock him down.
Halut's running point for Germany. He'll drive, and he's knocked away. Other end coming at you, big man. Yeah, that's Sandro Mamukelashvili. Seton Hall alum, just like yourself,
Yes.
Mr. Gaze.
He is, he's a feisty one. He started with his NBA career with the Bucks, now with the Spurs, and was up to 10 points a game in the last bit of the season once he got traded. And this man here, that's 2-3 balls. You can't give him that much space. He's really comfortable when he gets his feet set.
A little drive, and Mamukelashvili will miss the mid-ranger. Rowe trots up. Going through the gut, extra pass. Knocked away. This will stay here. Actually, the official is going to reverse his initial call.
Well, I don't think he's reversing it. What he did, he said red, but he pointed the wrong way. So he gave the head fake to everyone, and then he just corrected himself with the way in which he was pointing. So he had the call right, just got confused of which way the teams were going.
Listen, a lot of basketball being played here in Okinawa. What is today, day 8? So 16 games.
Oh. I reckon they're going a little terminal, getting to their on-ball situation too early. They look better when they get it through some hands first, swing the ball around, and then get into that attack mode.
Inside, outside, Timon takes the shot, and he'll hit it. Germany on a little bit of a spell here. They're out in front by 8. McFadden, 3 ball, trying to counter from beyond the arc, and it's dried up.
Well, it has. That's been, for both these teams, they haven't been great from the three-point line. They're almost identical at 29%. Germany marginally better at 29.5. They're the 27th and 26th ranked three-point shooting team in the competition. But it's Germany with the 4 of 7 at 57%. Georgia has missed their last 6 in a row. They were 3 of 5. They're now 3 of 11.
Halutz for the screen, low, back to him. Timon will drive in. Ball jumps off. Same last touch by Georgia and Shengelia. So shot clock does not reset. There was no foul, no whistle. So Germany with 6 to shoot. Moritz Wagner going right at the rack. He's blocked from behind. Sharon Medini gets a piece of him.
Sharon Medini just upset with his teammates. Clearly the strategy is to take away the middle, and there's the baseline drive. And he and Sandro Mamukelashvili just in a bit of a disagreement, but it's always tough. You need that weak side help, but Sharamadini just needs to be a little more pressure because it's a straight line drive and it's hard to get there when it happens so quickly. So forced to foul. Puts Wagner on the line to shoot a couple.
Yeah, so Moritz Wagner, his brother Franz, the two play together for the Orlando Magic, and certainly here for Team Germany. Part of the stellar turnaround and this impressive run Germany has been on.
Yeah, couple of misses.
Shengelia seeing a double here. Will step through, and there's a foul handed over.
Yeah, they've made the adjustment on Shengelia. He was really good.
Nickel Harrison here, the Dallas GM.
Yep. But they now decided to send a double team on Shengelia.
An extra little touch there, but the shot is in for Sandro Mamukelashvili. Behind the back pass, Wagner slam! It's Schroeder to Wagner. Germany fans on their feet.
Well, the finish was powerful, but the pass was exquisite.
And on the other end, Shengelia, that one's gonna count for 2, and there's a technical foul.
It's a flop. They've called the tech on the flop, and fair enough. Went down like there was a sniper in the crowd and just can't do that. And how's the pass? What a pass by Dennis Schroeder, but that is just split the gap. I mean, that's a hard pass when you can see everyone, but to go behind your back, that is outstanding. And I like to call down the other end. Tiemann just flops.
Means that count the basket and pass one. That's the rule. That's the rule.
Big play. Potentially 6-point play. There makes the 3, and then, oh no, they don't get it back, my bad. It's just gonna go to, because they counted the basket, they're not gonna get a possession again. And it's a 3-point play. I tell you what, there's a few leagues around the world, you'll stop flopping real quick when you start blowing tees like that.
And a foul handed over, Jincharaze on Schroeder. And it's gonna be his first personal, 4th here for Georgia in the quarter. One more and they'll be in the bonus. It's Franz Wagner you're looking at on your screen. We haven't seen much of him play. It was against Japan in the 4th quarter. He went out with an ankle injury. I was told though he's working on some floor work, running. A couple days ago, he had not practiced though, and they're gonna obviously evaluate him day to day as Bonga got the start after him, and he's carrying his weight for Germany.
My word, he is 6 points now for Bonga. And what about the extra pass by Tiemann? Knew he had the Bonga, the shooter, in the corner. Gave up a good shot for a great shot.
And then Mamukelashvili just elevating over the competition.
He's coming on. He's had an impact. Very aggressive.
Schroeder
The offensive end.
continuing to drive.
And this is where if you're Georgia and you feel like you're hanging in there, you've got to go to your strength. And that's the extra pass I was talking about. Tiemann with the play on the rim, but just kicks out for the 3-ball. Now, if you're Georgia, and points have been hard to come by, you've got to go back to this man, Mamukelashvili. He's 3 of 4, he's feeling it, and he's presenting a challenge to Germany defense.
So a few substitutions here. Tice back on the floor for Germany. And so is Voltman. And then for Georgia, Bitaze back down low to double up with his buddy, Mamukelashvili. Schroeder now for 6 points for Germany. The feed to Bataze. He will spin, try to get someone on Votman. He doesn't. Tip, no, misses. Couple opportunities there, empty-handed for Georgia. Schroeder, Bonga baseline. Ball safely back in Andrew Nekoshvili's hands.
I'd also like to see Georgia push the ball, test the defense a little earlier. It's like they're walking it up most of the time.
Tice steps up for the 3 ball.
Oh.
And a foul. Tangled up is Votman and Bitaze. Bitaze holding his face. And immediate medical attention coming out to Bitaze.
Oh, that is a terrible call. That's a terrible call. He just pulled him down. He just, now we've got the benefit of the replay, of course, but Vortman there having a look. They'll probably have a review of this now. Even when they review this.
I don't think that this foul is dangerous. So this is 2 strong guys to look at it. We have first lock and then the second lock. Okay?
Yeah. There you see the explanation. And when someone gets hurt like that, it's pretty common that they'll go and have a look at it. But just have a look here. That just pulled Portman down. Wow. And then unfortunately, I think when he hit the ground, he might have just hit the back of his head. But he looks like he's okay, getting some treatment on the sideline.
And we saw Shengelia go down a couple nights ago, too, with a collision under the basket against Slovenia. So laying everything out here as Bitaze has an open look at the bucket. And a timeout is called by Germany and Coach Herbert here. Shengelia looking like he's in some serious pain.
Good execution too on the on-ball. The roll-off, it's been good for him, and he's been able to hurt him both ways. He stepped out and made the 3, and then the work around the basket has been very good.
Hey, listen, hey, Stoke, stay focused on us right now, all right? Hey, they run a big, what are we doing? Hey, we're blue, we gotta blue it. We gotta talk it, blue. We need the weak side to pull in case we screw up. All right. Hey, we're running a 4 up wide right now. 4 up wide for Andy. Hey.
Another look at Mamukelashvili. Just going to another stratosphere there, lifting up over Holtz. And the feed to his buddy, Bitaze.
And it's the work that he's doing. And it's where their strategy that Germany are using right now. They got beat on the pick and pop, and that time the roll, so they can go both ways.
And so back to a 6-point advantage for Germany.
Still looks a bit shaken up, doesn't he? Now that's important because Shengelia, he's very integral to what Georgia are going to do, and they need to get him back on the floor as quick as they can.
The tied up quarter, 13 all. Bonga here from the wing.
Oh dear.
And the ball goes over the backboard, so we'll have a stoppage of play. And once they get this thing down, or we get them another game ball.
Can't they just get another ball? I suppose you don't want to be looking up there and seeing that ball too. It just shouldn't be a distraction, but you don't want to see it. And they've got wedged between the backboard and the support.
And there we go. An extra hand and a lift by Sandra Mamukelashvili. And so Georgia ball, 3:55 to go here in the second quarter. You're watching the second round of the Men's World Cup. Mamukelashvili, pull up, nothing but nylon.
Keep going to him. He's got it, he's feeling it. And I reckon they just milk that and keep going, and he's delivered.
Voltman,
That's deep.
NBA range here. And it's gonna stay here, so Germany another chance. As the foul is called on Rati Andronekashvili. His second, and we're in the bonus now. So that's why you're looking at Daniel Tice stepping through to the free throw line. Tice playing with the Indiana Pacers back in the States. And through this tournament, has been averaging 10 points a game and 4.3 rebounds.
And having all sorts of problems. Hasn't got to the free throw line. In fact, Germany don't get there a lot, with only averaging a little over 13 free throw attempts a game. And Tice makes 1 of 2, so he's 50% in this one as well. Right on his tournament average.
Sinsadze, wing misses. Bitadze in the mix there. This is going to stay here. Bonga,
Yep.
the man with the foul, he picks up his second personal.
Yeah, real physical this quarter. A lot of stop-start, and that's a foul. Bonga goes in and got caught behind and just reached in. And all the fouls now, we're going to see free throws for every foul, with the exception, of course, the offensive foul. But any defensive foul, we're going to see free throws being shot.
Bitadze hits the first. He's got 8 points. And when the World Cup's over, he'll be joining the two Wagner brothers in Orlando. Part of the Orlando Magic. Baseball pass to Bonga. Off his fingertips. Too much on that from Voltman.
They tried a quick sneaky play, and it didn't come off. It was close. Almost a beautiful pass, but not quite.
The pressure, full court now for Germany. Let's try to slow them down. Mamukelashvili calling his own number, top of the key, and he's hot.
He is white hot. And comes off at that 3 ball, and I'm not sure Germany realised how wide open he was. Wide open there.
It's 36 all. Voltman deep, won't go down. Sinsadze with the rebound. Jincharadze.
There he is.
And Mamukelashvili letting it fly again. This time a miss. Schroeder, no look to Bonga. An answer on the other end, he gets it.
He's stepped up to the occasion, made some big buckets. 9 points now for Bonga.
These two teams trading 3 balls the last couple of trips. And this one, Andronekashvili just takes right to the rack.
Really controlled. He thought he threw that. Got ahead of Bonga, and Bonga's going to turn it over.
What a defensive effort by Andronekashvili.
Some good phase there by Andronekashvili, as it is with this guy, Mamukelashvili. That is a pretty stroke. The lefty. He can hurt you both. He can hurt you from the 3-point line. He's actually really good at the quick pull-up mid-range as well. And he's got some bounce around the rim.
The pass intended there for Sinsadze. recovering a broken play. Can he get it? No, it's off. And we're running with Opes the other way. Schroeder driving through traffic, floater, no good. Itaze covers the rebound. The kick here, Senadze.
Oh, yeah, nice.
The reverse and the finisher. Georgia takes the lead, 40-39, and of course Germany here needing to call a timeout.
Yeah, nice run by Georgia. They trailed it by 8, and things started to look a lot like it was going a little pear-shaped for them. But they've been able to rally, come up with stops, and most importantly, keep that scoreboard ticking over. They lead the quarter 24-17, and just things starting to go their way.
The captain still on the bench, but in a little pain, but good to see him.
Yeah, good to see he's back. He was bouncing around Shengalia.
Right, Andy Oaks here. Right, Daniel Tice here. Go here. Hey, you're in the corner. All right, we come off it, you get to the corner, Andy, come underneath. Re-screen with Daniel, and we got a snap. So Dennis, you keep it on.
A 13-4 run for the Georgian squad. Mamukelashvili leading from the offensive assault here. And able to then capitalize in transition. Mamukelashvili has 11 points. And this guy came off the bench.
It is. He's another one. He comes off the bench, but he plays starter minutes. He's out, and he has been exceptional. Right bang on his tournament average, and we've still got a minute to go in the first half.
Wagner and Lowe on the floor now for Germany out of the timeout. Schroeder gets it back behind the screen from Tice, and he'll hit it from downtown. Tice, though, hitting the deck at the same time.
It's going to be another tech. I think it's going to be calling a flopping on Daniel Tice, so that's 2 now. So it's going to result in another free throw for Georgia. Let's have a look. It's off the ball. Can't really see it from there. There's definitely a little bit of contact, and I think it's the exaggeration of the contact. And Tice, he'll come out of the game.
Second personal for him. As Sandra.
Here's the flop. Oh, that is 100% a flop. That's a good call. It's so hard, too, on the officials because it's not like there's no contact. The contact's there, so they see it, and then and in real time, in real speed, it can be a really tough decision, but that time, the officials spot on.
Mamukelashvili makes the freebie, and Georgia picks up the ball. Jincharadze steps out of bounds.
He did, and the extended pressure is causing some problems for Georgia. And look where he catches it. There, he clearly steps out of bounds. But they're catching it so deep, that pressure. Come up, set a screen, try and take some separation so you catch it further away from that baseline.
Wagner on Bitaze. Teammate v. teammate in the NBA. And we'll see Wagner shoot a pair as Bitaze picks up his second personal.
Wagner goes back to the free throw line. He missed a couple in his last trip to the free throw line. So that'd be going through his head. 0 of 2. Make that 0 of 3. Oh my. Yeah, it's strange, and that's the pressure of these tournaments. last season with the Magic, he was 84% from the free throw line, and here he misses his first three.
Senadze with the ball for Georgia here. Back to Indernek Ushwili. Cutter trying to come through. Indernek Ushwili. Floater is a miss. And Schroeder and company here have the rest of the quarter.
That's a carry. He got called for one the other night against Australia.
Schroeder to Wagner, top of the key. Nothing there. Georgia will hold on. So this is how the quarter ends, and the first half of play is in the books. It's a 2-point ball game. Germany out in front, 43-41. Georgia fighting back here late in the second.
They certainly did, and Georgia would be happy with that first half. They'd be disappointed to be trailing, but given the way the game unfolded, they had to bounce back from a difficult start, got 8 down, and they regrouped. The tempo of the game started to go their way. They were able to get some key stops, and the shooting percentages are pretty even. 44% in total for Germany, 43% for Georgia, but it's the three ball is where the advantage is slightly in favor of Germany at 44%. 4 of 14, 29% for Georgia. And that man, Sandro Mamukelashvili, he came on and gave a spark. And they're going to need every bit of his help again in the second half, particularly if their captain, Toko Shengelia, he went down, never came back, but he did look like he was up and about on the sideline, so there were some encouraging signs. He's their team's leading scorer at almost 17 a game. And he got off to a really good start here. He's got 10 for the game, played the 12 minutes. But this game's in the balance. And you look at what the key players have been able to do. Schroeder's had a couple of shots that you'd normally expect him to make miss, 3 of 8 from the field. Bitaze has been inside and out. Knocked down a 3 ball. Good work around the basket. And this man also has knocked down 2 threes. So it's very much in the balance of this one, with the tempo of the game favouring Georgia slightly.
Tiemann off the bench as well, able to produce and activate for this Germany team. In fact, when he was on the floor, it was when Germany had their largest lead by 8. His extra effort certainly helped elevate this group, and Moritz Wagner with authority right through the gut.
That was the flop. That was the first flop that earned Tiemann a technical foul. And one. Bonga. He's come out and give him a spark off the bench as well.
And this type of back and forth, Andrew, this is what you expected for 2 teams in the final 16 here.
Well, that's right. And Bonga, too, getting back to him. He's got that size advantage, and we saw right at the start of the game when he's guarding those guards, it can be difficult, but down the other end, it can be a handful with creating matchup problems. He spends a lot of his time playing in the guard position, and how he can get the team executing in the half court when Schroeder's not on.
So at the break, it's a 2-point game. Germany 43, Georgia 41. We'll be back with the start of the third.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Turns it over now. South Sudan come up with it. Kwani, big threat. Another block. That's the third block of the game by Renzabando. Now, Georgievich liking what he gets from Joe, and again, he goes up, and now he is the top scorer in this game with 18 points.
And what a pass there from Jia Wei between the legs, finding Jun Zhao on the nice roll.
And they get it in. Spellman bringing it over. He's staying aggressive. Saud is open. His shot at the buzzer is good. Not sure if that's what Coach drew up, but it doesn't matter because it works anyway.
Trying to make a bit of contact, goes up, and Wenya Gabriel just says, not at my house.
Francisco tries to turn the corner, drops it to Yabusele, and one. It's just too strong, too big. Powers his way, bullies his way to the hoop.
Sammy, bullseye's out. Oh, look at that. Ahab Amin takes it away. You cannot be serious. That is not gonna be, he just snuck up there, took the ball away, went in for a layup. And you gotta do better than this. Look at this. And they get it to Cruz, he kind of fumbles it, gets it back, puts up a three, good! Well, there you have it. The icing on the cake of Mexico's best first half. There they go, Sammy with the bounce pass, and what hustle from Omar Hushan. Slapping it out of bounds.
Gabriel getting rejected. Soto with the denial. Mock kicks out. Kwani looking to go in again. Still can't get it. Another block shot. Back-to-back blocks by Kai Soto.
Soho driving, he coughs it up. Baba with the ball. He's looking for help. He finishes it to Hiyajima. And one, Hiyajima.
What a play!
Japan has the lead.
Uday Baba saw the defense coming, he's holding his shoulder, but look at the heads-up play.
Away in the flush. That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
We've made it to the round of 16 here in Okinawa, Japan. It's Georgia and Germany going toe-to-toe, and it's just a 2-point margin here after the first 20 minutes. And this guy, Sandro Mamukelashvili, the offense going for Georgia, taking things in his own hands.
Certainly is, and you know what? This is a fun game. When you get to this stage, every single possession matters. And we've seen the intensity on display. And there we see a switch. That's when two players aren't on the same page. Wish that time he stayed with Bentaze when they thought they were switching. Open it right up to a guy that was white hot. And have a look at Sandro Mamukelashvili's shot chart, and he's done it everywhere. And that, see the mid-range shots right there, the two greens and the red. You don't see a lot of that in modern basketball. A lot of coaches, they don't want that. They want plays on the rim and they want three balls. That's what the analytics tells you. But Mamukelashvili, he's good at both. And down the other end, it's this man.
It's Isaac Bonga, and all of his points coming from beyond the arc. Finding his shots, his stroke looks good. 60% from there.
And if you look at all of these, that one there is a decent closeout, but the others have been fairly wide open. as we, again, and that's what happens when you've got bigs that can shoot. Now, I know he plays as a guard a lot of the time, but this is a guy that's, you know, 210, thereabouts, 2'8 to 210, and he can spread the floor. And you look at his shot chart, doing most of his work from the perimeter as they spread the floor and try to create some driving lanes for Schroeder and just rely on Schroeder getting to the rim. Defense collapses, as we've seen, and they kick it out, and Bonga being able to knock him down.
And so as we get set to start the second half here, Andrew, what stands out to you? What will we expect to see as far as adjustments go from both sides?
Well, I think that Germany, with the way these games going, is that you can see them trying to extend the defense, and that's because they want more possessions. They want more use of the ball, and they want to get it a little bit more up-tempo by extending the defense. They're trying to rush Georgia up, and they had some success with it, but I thought Georgia adjusted well and were able to execute and, most importantly, knock down some shots. Now, they've been poor from the three-point line throughout the tournament, and it hasn't been great at 4 of 14 at 29%, but right now, Germany, they're walking a fine line because they haven't been able to get it all on their own terms, and as such, Georgia, they are kind of playing with the house's money. Not a lot of people expect them to win, and they're a little bit looser and not playing with the same types of pressure that Germany would be under. But having said all that, Germany got a 2-point lead.
Yeah, you talk about Georgia being the underdog. They know that that's their role, and they're confident in that. And when Coach Zoros was asked about this next competition, this next game, he goes, all I'm asking for is these guys to play together. Show everybody at home the Georgian way and that they deserve to be here. And certainly that's one full of physicality and fighting spirit. And it is good to see Shengelia back on the floor taking some shots and moving his body. And for Germany, they're the favorites in this competition, unblemished. Defeated Japan, upset Australia. Now that was a close margin game, only a 3-point differential, and then handedly taking care of Finland to lead into this game here tonight. Those records carry over. This is the second round of the World Cup, and more basketball to be played as Germany will then play Slovenia on its final outing here in Okinawa.
Well, that's right, and as these two pools cross over, it's Georgia and Australia that have got most at risk in these games because they're coming in with a loss. They've already dropped one. So this game has an extra degree of urgency for Georgia. Now, clearly Germany don't want to drop it, but they, you know, when you look at the combinations of what can happen, they still would have a fair chunk of their fate in their own hands if they were to drop it, provided it's not a big margin. And let's not forget, if you're getting those situations where there's three-way ties, the margins between the three teams can kick in. So whatever happens, you want to keep those margins as small as you possibly can.
And so for Georgia on their way here, they defeated Cape Verde, lost to Slovenia by 21, and then defeated Venezuela. A group that, again, making their first ever appearance here in the World Cup stage. They say they deserve to be here. They've played like it so far, and they can play spoiler here, depending how these next 20 minutes go. As we show you the energy tracker and the time spent on the floor with the starters.
That's right, and it's Andrew Nick Ashwili.
The point guard, yeah, spending the most time on the floor.
It is, and he's their floor leader. You know, he gets them into their sets and he pushes the floor. He's only got the 2 points, 3 assists.
And a look here for Germany. A little bit more spread out.
It is, and the other factor that will come into play here is.
Hey, let's get it together. If you have energy, let's get after it. Go.
The other factor that will come into play, is that Germany have actually had the extra day's rest. Georgia, they've only had the 1 day's rest, so they technically should be a little fresher.
There's Zaza Pachulia sitting front row and center as his Georgian team is just 2 points shy of Germany here at the halftime break.
It's a big fella, and he's got a couple of titles to his name. And to take a look at the app, we've spoken about this entire tournament. This is a must-have if you're a basketball fan, but when you think of Zaza Pachulia, I don't think he appreciated some of my feedback that I was providing one time, and he's directly in front of us and turned around and gave me a very stern look. So just very cautious and I call it how I see it. Won't interfere with my objectivity, but whew.
The stare down that followed. Third quarter underway.
Passionate supporter of his team, as he should be.
Despina Barton alongside Andrew Gaze. Germany with the ball here first. Bonga resets. And the shot goes up by Obst. He will go to the free throw line. McFadden, hands on his hips, doesn't quite understand.
Well, it is, and did McFadden really make enough contact for him to fall down like that? And let's have a look at the replay. And this is where there's the closeout, and it's definitely a foul. You can't come down, and you've got to give him a place to land, and that's what he didn't do. So the foul's there. And it's a good call by the officials. But when you've got a shooter like Obst, McFadden's just got to do that, but just go by him. Just go by him or pull up a little shorter.
Oops. Misses the first. The 27-year-old gets one more here. And 2 for 3 for Obst. And here's that defensive tempo and pressure that Germany is sitting in. Andrew Oshwili to McFadden. Schroeder getting real low. We'll lose him with the screen. Shengelia back on the floor. This is a good sign for Georgia, and he opens up with a mid-range too.
How tough is that? Knew he had the little defender on him and just used his size. Nice shot by Shengelia.
Opes driving, no one stepping in front. He's got 2.
Yeah, and that's where you're a little concerned about your weak side help. Needs to be some there. Got to do a better job on the ball. But what about that? The pass, as casual as you like, comes down, and Bitaze gets behind the defender.
A sleeping giant down there, and Andrew Nekashvili placed it perfectly. A mismatch here on the wing. Shooter passes, and it's a shot clock violation. Too much time thinking.
It is, and it was a really unproductive possession. Wasn't a lot going on. The ball sticking, and there's that pass. See how he just snuck behind Portman, and Andrew Ashwili with a nice touch, and really good read. Good connection between the receiver and the passer.
McFadden, 3 on the wing, a miss. Another chance here by Mamakhelashvili. Bitaze misses. More white jerseys here crashing this time. And Shengelia picks up a personal. His first, team second here in the third. Tice for the screen, he'll roll. Free throw line extended is good for 2.
Yeah, last couple of possessions for Germany. They had one good stop where they had the shot clock violation, but the other two resulted in pretty easy baskets for Germany.
Mamulish Kawili with Shengelia, a miss. Schroeder not waiting for the shot clock to go down because he's feeling it in his veins.
There it is, and noticeable change in Schroeder too. His on-ball defense, he's really getting up and in on the defensive end.
Oh, Shengelia thought about it. Gets it to Bentaze, spinning through traffic. Vontman there. Schroeder back to the basket. Gets it handed right back. A little bit of a heat check. And Mamuke Lushwili to Shengelia. Post up on the block. We've seen this spin. Kicks it. Andrew Neckarishvili having to track it down. 8 to shoot. He'll let it fly. And another rebound here by Mamuke Lushwili. Andrew Neckarishvili misses. Another chance. Bentaze. A foul.
It's on Bentaze. I think it was an inadvertent. He just had the extension of that arm and it caught Daniel Weiss. Have a look here. There, the elbow. Now, he wasn't trying to do any damage. He just established the position, but the elbow to the groin area is what the foul was for. I tell you what, there's been a let-off because...
We need a 1,000 to be sure. This is our guideline. Yeah, otherwise we'll go for every time small thing.
So Bentaze with his third, he'll go sit and share Mendini on the floor in his place.
Georgia doing an outstanding job on the O boards in this to start this third. Just haven't been able to capitalise.
Opes pulls it up, and he strokes it from downtown.
Really?
10-point lead for Germany.
That's a really tough shot. It wasn't like it was uncontested. The defense fought over hard.
Mamuke Lushwili, that one blocked by Bonga. No whistle. Opes spotting up other end, and he goes back to back.
That's what he can do. He's a three-point specialist, and he comes back-to-back threes in quick succession. And all of a sudden, this lead in a very short period of time has blown out to 13. And look at the quick pull-up. You've just seen one go in, and that is a textbook shooting technique, a beautiful show. Jaja Petrula doesn't like it, and nor should he. Straight away, timeout. Good timeout to call.
He scored 6 threes. He scored 6 threes. Let's go stop this guy. Let's go stop this guy. And offensively, we don't do anything. Now we just run.
When we go chest, we cannot be going ahead and over here. 2 guys on the corner.
We run. Shirt. Down. Do that.
So Coach Zoro's there trying to figure out a way to slow the roll of Germany.
You saw the graphic that was just up on the screen, the empty possessions, that consecutive empty possessions, and that's the tough one that got it going for Obst, and then he's feeling it, and that is just a beautiful stroke. Hands in the right spot, gets it up nice and high, good legs, extension, follow through. If any youngsters are out there, might want to put that on the tape. That's how you need to shoot the ball.
12 points for Opes, 2 of those shots being made from beyond the arc, and his team up by 13. St. Adze back on the floor for Georgia. And now Georgia's gonna have to inbound here with a short shot clock, 6 seconds. The defense here by Germany just ratcheted up in the second half. Zadze, floater, misses, kick out. We're running with Opes with Germany. Gives it back, Schroeder splitting 2 defenders. He'll go to the free throw line.
And what I love about that play, they know Obst is white hot at the moment with those back-to-back threes, so the very next possession, they run a pin down for him. He's overplayed, and Georgia bite on that. They get it straight back to Schroeder, and he gets into attack mode. But it's because of that pressure and the way in which they had to pay that attention to Obst. It just opens up things a little that time for Schroeder as well.
And our friends in the truck showed us a really cool graphic about Schroeder when he's got the ball in his hands and the heat map of where he likes to go. We'll have to pull that out later in the competition.
The ball's in his hands a lot, and he works the middle on ball as good as anyone in this tournament. That's unusual for Schroeder. He's a very, very good free throw shooter.
Working around the horn here for Georgia. Mamukelashvili kicks it back to Sinsadze. Shengelia, step back 3. Short, his friend with the putback. No, Mamukelashvili can't get the bucket, but gets the ball back. Fresh shot clock.
They're all over the O boards. They're winning the rebounding count 28-24, but they've got 9 already offensive rebounds. You can see the work that Germany is doing into Sandro Mamukelashvili, as they should, given he had the 12 points, all of them coming in the first half. And now the intensity on the defensive end is cranking up a few notches on him.
Just 4 points that Georgia has been able to put up on the board here in the third quarter.
They've had some good looks, had some second shots, and haven't been able to get the fall.
Shengelia's blocked from behind. Tice there.
That's not such a good look.
Schroeder changing gears, laying on the right.
Ooh, and Schroeder's pulled up sore after that last play. Something wrong with him. Looks like something's tweaking his back.
Skip pass, Georgia now. Andrew Nekashvili tried to get it back inside to Shara Medini. Another turnover. Schroeder again, this time stripped away. Shengelia looking down court. Shengelia, hook shot is good and in. Sandro Mamukelashvili. And he'll get to possibly add here. Another look at that bullet.
Yeah, well, he's a lefty, so that's with the non-preferred. It was a line drive, but the foul actually might have helped him just with that touch.
Chance to add one more on the board. He's got 15 on the day.
Schroeder staying in the game, but he was grimacing, he was bending over. Looks like he's trying to play through it and run out whatever he's got.
Schroeder behind the back, Tice misses. Foul's called. The official closest to us here.
Really aggressive take at the rim.
That's going to be the fifth.
Pass. Have a look at this pass here. Through the legs, if you don't mind. He's given us the behind the back, and this time he says, I'll go between the legs as Daniel Tice goes to the free throw line. Now, based on his free throw performances, that's not a bad foul because it was going to be a dunk if they didn't foul. And he is having all sorts of problems at the free throw line.
2 for 5 here this evening for Daniel Tice.
As a team, they're 9 of 17 from the free throw line. The 17 would be encouraging for the coach. 10 of 18 now. As I mentioned, they're only averaging 13 free throws per game. So they're not getting there all that often so far in their first 3 games.
McFadden here dribbling an awful lot. Feeds it to Sharamadini. Keeps it high. 2 points for Giorgi Sharamadini. Schroeder, the floater and the pass. His boy Tice. 2-hand jam. Sharamadini again. Exact same shot, exact same finish.
Exact same play. Just putting it on the sideline on ball with he and McFadden. And he does the right thing and finishes it.
Schroeder misses. Oops. Ball finds him. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Extra pass. Nils Giffey. Everybody hitting for Germany right now.
They're white hot from the three-point line. They're 11 of 22 on the night. This is a team that's struggled in their first 3 games.
And McFadden early in that shot clock.
Yeah, that was just a shot of a guy that hadn't had a shot for a while and just thought, well, it's time now for me to step up. And it was well advised in the context of the game.
Meanwhile, the orchestrator of this German offense, Mr. Schroeder.
Sharamadini caught in no man's land. Wasn't able to put pressure on Schroeder and wasn't able to get back to Tice. And there's not too many more beautiful things in the game of basketball than the alley-oop, the coordination between passer and receiver, the athleticism, the tuck-in. Perfectly executed by Germany.
And you see Schroeder there during that inbound, stretching out his back. You're right, he's staying in this game, but he's certainly feeling a certain way and trying to shake off.
And he did it a couple of minutes ago on the drive, and decided now, I think they've, you know, you tweak something, you think, well, let's just play it out, don't want to cool him down. But Coach Gordon Herbert, he's seen enough, and he's going to be making a substitution if this one goes in. Decent lead at the moment, minute and 28 to going, leading by 16, chance to make it 17. Good time to give one of your prime movers a rest.
Sharamadini gets it to McFadden. Yeah, 1 for 2 for Schroeder. Pullitz waits to be subbed in, driving the other way, taking it himself. And Mamu Kalashvili will get 2 from the free throw line. And there's that substitution on the floor now. Josus Halutz. And Schroeder gonna get peeked at on the side. His family in the stands, wife and children, been here the entire week and then some, making sure Dad's work trip is going well. After all, this is a business trip.
Well, I think when you pull on the colours of your nation, it's hard to classify it as work. This is an absolute privilege that these guys have But you're right, they've still got to do some heavy lifting, and it's taxing on the body.
Wagner back on the floor, driving at Sharon Medini, splitting through 2. Nothing there. Mamukhelashvili with authority here. Him and Timon. There's some friction here. As Schroeder here going to be exiting the arena.
Yeah. Hopefully that's not too serious. They'll have a day off. And then next up for them is Slovenia.
Take away. The hands in the lane there by Giffey. Wagner on an island.
D-Trans not there that time for Georgia. They had bodies back there, but they were spreading the floor. And that's not uncommon when you've got a team that's wide hot. See how spread the defense, you can see it on that vision. And no one able to pick up. Now that's there. McFadden needs to see the ball. You got to load up on the strong side. Little guy, but just have a body there. Instead, Wagner goes in and easy 2.
So a 16-point advantage for Germany, and a timeout called here by Georgia.
Let's go, now. Let's go, guys. Don't stop fighting. It's a defense. We need to help each other. Rebound and run. They can stop you.
All the fields in this game. It's the second round of the Men's World Cup. Both of these teams needing a victory to help them on their pathway to the quarterfinals. Right now, it's Germany who's found a rhythm and created some separation here in the third quarter. McFadden, a big egg there as the points go.
And it's on the back of 0 of 7. So a few of those have been good looks. A couple of forced ones or ill-advised shot attempts.
Tsanadze, mid-range. Wagner covering the rebound. Less than a second is the differential between the game clock and shot clock here. Low with the ball. Janjaradze in front of him. And Sharon Medini takes it out of his pocket. Sharon Medini coast to coast and 1.
The big fella comes out and strips the point guard. That's the type of hard show that you want to see from your bigs when you're trying to play catch up, and the control and the finish.
A veteran move by the center for Georgia, Giorgi Sharamadini.
Yes, he's been at Tenerife in Spain the last 4 seasons.
And he hits the free throw. 4.4 to go. Low. Gonna get it up to Halutz, and it's not off in time. So the extra effort here by Sharamadini trims the lead to 13 after 3 quarters of play. Scoreboard reads Germany 70, Georgia 57.
There you see the field goal shooting, and it's Germany catching fire. 52% from the field, but 50% from the three-point line. Let's listen in. Well, Tice, he's been a handful. That pick and pop, that mid-range for Tice. He's got 11 points, 4 of 6. Schroeder. Now, the concern for him is that he's gone to the locker room, what appeared to be a back injury, and just when that game was in the balance, you know, it got to 5 or 6 points, it was ops. who really caught fire. 12 points, as I mentioned, 11 of 22. And in fact, the only area where they've really struggled as far as shooting is free throws. They're 11 of 20. They left a lot on the table from the free throw line, only at 55%. And down the other end of the floor, it's been tough going from the three-point line. But Shermadini, boy, did he come in and make an impact. Got some points, and the coordination between Schroeder and Tice was really nice. But Shermadini, he added a real spark for this Georgia team. He's an experienced guy. He's played at some of the big clubs throughout Europe, Olympiacos, Zaragoza. And he's showing his worth in this one for Georgia.
Start of the fourth quarter, second round of the Men's World Cup. Despina Barton alongside Andrew Gaze. Georgia trying to make up a 13-point deficit here. That one poked out of bounds. Halutz there on Mahmoud Kelashvili. So condensed shot clock, 11 seconds for Georgia. McFadden needing some help getting it in. And he'll throw up it looked like a wild hook, but a drop, so can't be mad at it.
He just landed softly, had to force a high arcer over the defense. And just some life in this Georgia team.
That was his first field goal of the contest. Wagner, he'll give it a go. And he's fouled. They'll get to shoot all three as Shermadini picks up his second.
It's another example of the closeout. Now he's trying to go by him, but just lands in his space. But almost there on the side of him rather than straight in front of him, but it's the landing position that hurt. Whenever someone's coming at you like that though, if you're a shooter, you got to fall on the ground. Fall on the ground to make the official make a decision. If he stands up and doesn't fall on the ground, and that contact did not force him to fall on the ground, then I don't think they call that foul. Even though there's his dad, and between him and his brother Franz, they've done extremely well with their basketball careers, both at Orlando.
Yeah, just when I thought I didn't know anybody traveling this far. Orlando's my hometown, so I get to cover and see the Orlando Magic play. And so Bitadze, another member of the Orlando Magic, on the floor now for Georgia. The feed inside denied. Wagner there. Giffey. Wagner going baseline. Lowe fakes out the pass. He'll take it himself for three.
Well, he hasn't been overly involved. That's his first field goal. And mate, he's only taken two. Now, he was another one that was huge in that win over Australia, that three-point win. He had 20 in that contest.
A miss by McFadden, covered up by Timon. You've got two red jerseys around you trying to sniff it off. Another look at Lowe from downtown.
Yeah, and he's been patient, hasn't forced the issue. 1 of 2 from the field. Prepared to divert to others when they've got it going. Hasn't forced anything.
Lowe keeping the handle, keeping the shot, and he powers through. Combined for the last 6 points for Germany.
Well, he saw one go in, so this time he calls his own number.
Outlets here. Here comes the jump on defense. Germany out in transition. Lowe keeps it. And a whistle going against Mamukelashvili. Just trying to stop the momentum in Wagner there.
Well, it was, and it's Ma'odo Low who read the play perfectly and just hesitated a little bit on the layup. This is that step back. Nice looking stroke as well. Not a whole lot more that Andrew Negashvili could have done. Contested that with a closeout.
So Low smothered up here by Andrew Nekashvili, loses him on the screen, and a takeaway, Georgia. But before that, Wagner knocks around Sanadze.
And this is what they're going to need to do. They need to try and force some turnovers. Time is running out, 7.5 to play, and you're trailing it by 19. You've got to force some turnovers, which Germany have been pretty good so far. They've only got the 9.
So 7.5 to go here, fourth quarter. The feed, Bentaze was the intended receiver. And it's a turnover.
Decent action. The idea was right, just the execution. Not a lot of margin for error on that one. That's another good defensive play, the deflection. And Niels wasn't able to handle it. Niels Giffey. Oh, excuse me. Apologies, Niels. That was Olu with the turnover.
So Georgia ball. Sanadze to inbound here.
Oh.
And he is pushed over. Tiemann gets Mamukelashvili with the backcourt.
That's right.
Violation.
Tiemann just gave him a nudge and forced him over the center line. Soft balance, but doesn't get the call. Have a look. Tiemann with a subtle little push in that right foot.
Of course, Tiemann, the first one to point it out, right?
Yeah.
After he's cleared the space.
Sneaky little push when he was in the air, got him off balance. And as he stepped back, caused the turnover.
So just trading possessions back here, the last couple go at it. Low, a kick. Giffey gives it back. And he will do it fading away with some help from the glass. That's so hard to stop.
Well, it is. I can guarantee you he didn't call bank. He just threw it up there and threw up the prayer and it was answered. He had a similar shot to this against Australia when they were a point up. Dying's last minute. Yep, he was behind the line. And it goes off the bank and gets the roll.
22 points. That's the lead for Germany right now. As back-to-back fouls they pick up. And a takeaway, another one here for Germany. Giffey on the block. Here comes a cutter. He'll hit Tiemann on the roll. Shengelia with the ball will keep things moving for Georgia. McFadden fouled as Wagner was about to run the other way.
There's Schroeder. There's an encouraging sign. Highly unlikely they're going to put him back in the game as they're now lead it by 22. But he's had a good outing. 16 points, 7 assists to Schroeder.
And I think he's the guy right now that we're feeling out for the TCL player of the game, but
it's a hard one. They spread it around so well. Obsters came on and he was the one that opened the game up for him in that third quarter with his 12 points and 4 rebounds. So he would be a candidate. Also, Wagner has been efficient, 4 of 6 from the field for his 13 points. A little blemish because of work at the free throw line, only 1 of 4. Excuse me, 3 of 7.
Andrew, if you had to choose one at this point, who are you calling?
Oh dear. I think I'm going to stick with Schroeder. You can't ignore 16 points and 7 assists, can you? He hasn't had to do too much. 23 minutes so far he's played.
We're looking at Haman Neong, the FIBA president, in the stands. He's been here for a few days, and I'm sure he's got to split his time between here, Manila, Jakarta.
Well, he should be doing that with a smile on his face. And have a look at the run. Georgia just struggling to score. 6 empty possessions compared to what Germany's been able to do. So it's been a really good defensive performance by Germany and stopping, not allowing any sort of run by Georgia to give themselves a cushion here in the last.
Bonga to Wagner. And he sells that one too. So a couple of free throws coming for Wagner.
It was a late call. I think they've got it on Sandro Mamukelashvili.
Which it looks like it's going to be his 4th personal.
I'm not sure Shengalia is well, because in this stage of the game, it's all on the line. He had that fall earlier on in the contest, and he had 12 points, and all of them coming in the first half. And since then, he's spent a considerable amount of time, and he's just been taken out of the game again, which, given the state of play here, means that I think that it just can't be feeling right.
Wagner with 14 points on the evening for Germany. 22-point lead with 5.5 to play. Bitaze back into the hands of Shinsaze. Little broken play, and it is coughed up. Timon, size advantage, will spin, go right at the rack, and will travel.
The spin move, lift the pivot foot up without putting it to the floor. And it's now or never now for Georgia. It's a big, big ask. Come back to 22 down against this powerful German team, but they don't have time to go through a lot of action in the half court. They need a lot of exchanges of the ball, they need quick shots, and they need stops.
League Aze on the floor now for the first time for Georgia. Mamukelashvili, his shot is off.
But they're the types of actions you need. Quick, couple of threes, get it down to try and make Germany nervous.
Hellitz lets McFadden fly by him. Short. And just not going Georgia's way here.
Well, again, the story of the tournament for Georgia has been their ability to take care of the ball. They cough it up 17 times a game on average in their first 3 games, and they're at that point already. And that's a significant handicap you're giving yourself and providing a lot of opportunities for your opponents. In contrast, Germany only have the 11. But when they look back on this campaign, for all the good things that Georgia have been able to do, that's an area that has significantly let them down.
Lowe and Kramer now on the floor for Germany. Timon, 3-ball, misses. Bitaze with the rebound.
Kramer's only played in 2 of the 3 games. He's only logged 6 minutes in total, but we saw him last one against Japan, and he can shoot it.
McFadden has to get it up. It's released in time, and it goes in. It will count for all 3.
He's talking to himself, saying, where was that a little bit earlier on?
Lowe, Wagner, 1 dribble, he can kick it to Timon. And that one will feel good for Mr. Timon from the outside.
And no one even attempting to close out on Timon. Get it in the paint, the defense collapses, but on those kick-out passes, you've got to have at least someone running at him, intimidating some way, shape, or form, and another turnover.
A takeaway here by Kramer. And a second opportunity, Georgia, you can feel the wind just come out of them.
Yeah, it is.
And this is a unit, too, that only had 1 day off, right? This is the 4th game in 8 days for both of these teams. Germany and Coach Herbert's team, 2 days off.
Yeah. And that is symbolic of what you're talking about. We saw number 10, San I'd say, there in between 2 and just not even stunting and making team think about that 3-ball.
Low from NBA range, and this is just, that's gonna put this one to rest here from Okinawa.
It's been a feast. 16 made 3s. And they are 52% for a team that has not shot the ball well from the 3-point line.
And Bitaze, he opened up the contest with a 3. Here in the 4th is the next one we saw from him. Out in transition. Mamukela-Shvili with the slam. $20 the difference. Liklik Aze there on low. And Lowe and the Germans just trying to manage this game and adding some more insurance, Andrew Gaze. Lowe now, 15 points.
That's right, and here he is doing his work from the 3-point line. Continue to blaze away. They've made 14 made 3s on the tournament. They've been averaging 9, but they've been only doing it at 29.5%. They've turned all that around quickly.
17 made 3s here tonight.
17. Forgot that last one. Doubling what they've had per average. And it's the type of 3. They've been really good 3-point looks. They get the penetration, the defense collapses, and they're kicking out, making extra passes, or doing that.
Right idea, wrong execution. Foul here going to be called against Kramer as Liklik Aze drove in. He'll head to the free throw line. And for you, Andrew, is Germany the most complete team you've seen here in Okinawa?
Here in Okinawa, well, I have a bias, as you can tell by the accent, and I think that when Dennis Schroeder is out there, of course, they've got good size, and when Franz Wagner is there to add to the depth of Germany, they'll be right there. I think Australia and Germany would be even par in that category. And that's just not me saying that. You look at the power rankings and all the other rankings that the Nike World FIBA rankings, they show that Australia and Germany right up there at the pointy end.
Low, why not? Another 3 3-pointers for Low here in the fourth quarter in the last couple minutes.
Well, I think he's making a late charge for the TCL player of the game. If you've gone 6 for 6 and have 18 points from the three-point line, a little TCL recognition would be nice. Might have let his run a little too late. And let's be honest, he's done a lot of the work when they had a bit of a buffer. And then you look at the differences, 18 today, an average of almost 8 points a game, and the percentages off the charts today. That'll help the overall stats. He's a high-quality player, still a relatively young man that's got some significant credit already on the resume.
30 years old, Low is. Played with Olimpia Milano in Italy.
That's where he's going. He's been at Alba for a while.
I'm sure Medini almost had his second steal off of him.
Another thing about Low, he must be a very bright man as well, because he went to Columbia.
Private school.
Is that right?
I believe.
I think
Columbia is part of the Ivy League.
That's right. So you need some...
a motor.
You need some great basketball skills, but you also need some IQ. He's a smart man.
Off the curl, Kramer gets in on the party. And this is a Germany show.
This is outrageous shooting.
Leaving it to no questions here against Georgia, who the better team is.
19 made threes from 34 attempts.
Luca Ligaze will get on the scorecard as the final seconds here wind down. Wagner will kick. Feed inside. Giffey misses the shot. How about another chance here? 6 seconds to go. Haluch. And you get a 3. And you get a 3. And for Germany, they get their 4th victory in a row here in Okinawa. It is Germany and Coach Gordon Herbert that stay perfect. This team all that much closer to a quarterfinal berth. The final score here, 173.
What an impressive display from Germany. That first half, the Germans were tested. They had to battle and they were struggling from the field, but how quickly did it all turn around? And particularly from the three-point line, it was a shooting onslaught. 20 of 35, that's not from the two-point range, that is from the three-point range. 57%, 52% overall. And the only blemish, they need to get back in the gym and work on their free throws. 14 of 25, but they end up leading the rebounding count. And for Georgia, early on, when they were able to mix it up with them, and sure, Shengalia making shots, had 12, and when he got hurt and he wasn't in the game, they lost a lot. They lost a lot of their firepower, and they weren't able to stay with them, and their turnover woes continued. 18 turnovers, and they've been averaging 17, so this is not an anomaly for them. This, unfortunately, has been a consistency with the way in which they've been playing, but Germany are going to be tough. This is a team that most are seeing as a Final Four and a medal contender, and you can see why by the way in which they shot the ball, the composure, dealing with adversity, and you just saw a glimpse of him there. And the only real issue was for Dennis Schroeder, who went off with seemed like a back tweak, and the assists. When you're knocking down shots, it's a lot easier to get assists, and when Georgia only shooting at 42%, it became a lot harder. And Sandro Mamuke-Lashwili, he fought his heart out to his 19 points. And Lowe, come on, he's 18 points and a perfect 6 of 6.
And Schroeder here working to high-five it up with his kid.
Why not?
And I think they had an issue with the kids coming down the court earlier in the week. So he's going to spend some time here with his family in between. He looks all right. He's in good spirits.
Yeah.
We'll have to get a report about him and his back, but it's Dennis Schroeder and Germany that advance on to a record of 4-0. And if we're counting back to last World Cup, now they have 7 in a row, their best ever here on the World Cup stage. Next up, Slovenia, Andrew Gaze. How does this team match up?
Well, I think they match up well. They'll go into that contest as the favourites, but anytime you're up against the great Luka Doncic, there's always going to be an element of doubt. And then we saw McFadden. He started to get it going later in the game, but he started the game at 0 of 7, so dug himself a bit of a hole. But here is that man, Maodo Lowe, who just got it going. 6 of 6 from the three-point line, contested on the step back, and a couple, once he started to feel it, a couple of those were long NBA threes. As we see some of his highlights. Now that was one that you know it's going to be a good night when he's not trying to use the backboard there. It's a beat the buzzer shot, and he gets the kiss off the glass and runs back. He doesn't even smile. That's what I do. That's a tough shot.
Every shot McFadden took, and it took a while for him to get on the board, was the hard way.
Yeah, it was. Down the other end, you're looking and you're trying to wonder why they were able to shoot at 57% at 12 of 28. A lot of the three balls they took, they're wide open. And not a lot of pressure. Here's Wagner. Taze showed us his range as well. He knocked down a couple of three balls. He was 2 of 5. They had some moments. Georgia, early on in particular, you thought this is going to be a grind, but once they got their margin, they got it out to 6 or 7, and then a couple of three balls and a transition basket by Ops just broke the game open, and they weren't able to recover from that.
And if you're a German fan, you love the way the team shot the ball today. They're setting the table for a monster showdown with Luka Doncic in Slovenia to close out their tournament here. Germany takes care of business 100-73. They're on the top of these Group K standings, and they've got one more to go before they seal their ticket to the quarterfinals of the Men's World Cup. It was at the hands of Georgia. For Andrew Gaze, I'm Despina Barton. Germany stays perfect. Final score 100-73.